Greetings, brothers. Welcome to the Blood Angels Commander channel.
Hello! Welcome to our Sunday night Armulus show. Hello, my friends. I'm just going to move the chat box 1 second so I can actually see a little bit easier. I think this must be where I normally have it. Good evening. Good evening. We're looking at Blood Angels Armulus. Duh, that's the name of the show. Thank you so much for being here every week. I do appreciate it. We've got Kalgar, we've got Zakoon, we've got Words Worse, Tri-Six and Bad Francis. Good evening, good evening. Yeah, so we're looking at army lists. I've got like 6 army lists to look at. I have no idea. First time looking at them, we're going to give opinions. That's what we do on the show. Hopefully to help you create a better army list. If you enjoy the stream at any point, please do press the like button and or subscribe to the channel, right? We are, I'm trying to get to 25,000 subscribers, so I would appreciate it if you consider doing that. And in the future, if you want your list on the show, it's pretty easy. At the end of the stream, when the stream ends, put your list in the comment section, right? So I can get it for a future list. And if you are a green name, which is you're a channel member, or if you are a supporter on Patreon, then you get priority. So it's really that simple, right? You want your list reviewed, support the channel. Otherwise, I mean, I'll get to you. I try and get to everybody's lists, but channel members and patrons do get priority in the queue. So let's start with a channel member, a new one, Pete M578. I don't think we've met Pete before. I don't think I've seen him in the live stream, but yes. So here's the first list for tonight. Liberator Assault Group, 1980 points. It feels like there could have been maybe an enhancement or something that could have sneaked in there, but it doesn't look like it. Can you review this list? I'm really reasonably new to the gaming side of the game. I've been painting the hobby for a while. I have some success with this list against friends, Death Guard. I used Vindicator in reserve, ready for Death Shroud, and a Castellan to rival Mortarion. Picking off units, Rhinos. Once they're tackled, it seemed reasonably straightforward. Felt like a good number of units. Okay, so a Liberator Assault Group list with Dante, a Rage-Fueled Jump Captain. We don't see that too often, but cool. And a Fight First Chaplain leading Blade Guard, which is a good combo, right? Like, it's a pretty simple combo. You put the Blade Guard inside the Impulsor, you roll it forward, you get 6 Fight First Blade Guard. Pretty good in Liberator Assault Group. +1 to wound helps a lot. There's a stratagem you can get extra attacks and or strength when you are charged, or both. So I like the Blade Guard with the Fight First combo. I think I prefer Terminators with the Fight First combo, but the Blade Guard get weight of fire. They're very good at killing infantry. They're pretty good at killing elites. Maybe not so great against killing vehicles and monsters. So we've got 5 Assault Intercessors on foot. That's fine. We've got 3 units of Jump Intercessors. We've got 3 units of 3 Sangre Guard. We've got the Blade Guard Veterans. The Captain has a Plasma Gun. We've got Infiltrators. We've got Scouts. We've got a single Vindicator tank. And then we've got a Knight Castellan. I would say this is a pretty standard-ish Blood Angels list, right? The second you put, like, Impulsor plus Blade Guard, Fight First, a Vindicator tank, Scouts, Infiltrators, 3 units of Jump Intercessors, 3 units of Sangre Guard, one of which is led by Dante, one of which is led by a Rage-Fueled Captain. I mean, it's pretty standard stuff. The thing that is not standard, I guess, is throwing in that Knight Castellan. And I did that recently, actually. I think I played 1 game on stream with the Knight Castellan. And I think what I found is the Castellan is pretty random, right? Because you don't have any rerolls to hit, and you actually don't have that many shots. You know, like, you get D3 shots from the Volcano Cannon. You get a couple of shots from the Shieldbreaker missiles. So a bad turn of rolls, you end up hitting nothing, or you end up you end up doing no damage. Like it can be common enough for a Castellan to do no damage. So my thought is, having tried the Castellan, I think I prefer Vindicator tanks, right? Because for the cost of it, it's more expensive than 2 Vindicator tanks. And I think that 2 Vindicator tanks usually just about blow up anything, right? Like that's 6 plus 2d6 shots. Add in the Hunter Killer missiles, you're actually looking at 8 plus 2d6 shots. So statistically, if you've got 2 Vindicator tanks, you should be getting about 15 strength 14 hits. Is that right? No, 8 plus 3.5, sorry, twice. Yeah, you should be getting about 15. And if you use the Oath of Moment target, then you're probably going to end up with like 12 successful hits. So I think I prefer Vindicator tanks. I think I would much rather have 12 successful Vindicator tank hits than like 1 Volcano Cannon hit or 1 Shieldbreaker missile hit. Now, Volcano Cannons are good. I think they're D6 plus 8. They might even have devastating wounds. So when they pop off, they surely do pop off. But the problem is that it's just such a low number of shots. Ranged weapons, Volcano Cannon. No, it's not devastating wounds, sorry. But D6 plus 8, it's very good. But it's a low number of shots. And then the Siegebreaker missiles, wherever they are, again, it's a low number of shots. They're the ones that got devastating wounds, sorry. So these things can pop off, but they can also just miss. And you're not getting rerolls to hit like you do with Oath of Moment and Vindicator tanks. So my opinion of them is they are fine. Like, I think it's fine to put a Castellan into your list. Like, I don't think it's a huge negative. But personally, would I do it? Probably not. Would I take it to a tournament? Probably not. Because I feel like if you take it to if you play it in 5 games, it'll do great in 2 games, it'll do terrible in 2 games, and it'll do average in 1 game. Whereas I think if you take Vindicators to a tournament, they'll do amazing in like 4 games, and 1 game will be bad. Vindicators, I think, just have enough they do enough hits every turn that they are always just reliable, especially when you use Oath of Moment. And yeah, I mean, a Castellan is scary to play against, but also my opinion of it is I don't really like it. I don't think I would use it again after using it. I used it against Death Guard. Maybe it's better, like maybe it would have been better against enemies that don't have invuln saves. I mean, you could argue that, but then here's the thing, most armies have invuln saves on their vehicles, right? Calgar says Oath is probably the tipping point. Yeah, I mean, the problem is if you roll 1 on the number of shots for the Volcano Lance, even if you roll 2, it's very possible you just miss both times and you're like, oh, I didn't do anything with it. How do you feel about my own Angelic Inheritors list after the game against Ultramarines? I'm going to put out a video on my own Angelic Inheritors list. How do I feel about it after the game against Ultramarines? I just need to play it more. I feel like I can't really get a read on a list after 1 game, especially when in the Ultramarines game, his Land Raider blew up and he took 14 mortal wounds from his Land Raider blowing up. Ironically, talking about knights and stuff, it was 2 Vindicator tanks that blew up his Land Raider. So I feel like I kind of liked playing Angelic Inheritors again after a long time, but I don't know if my list is any good yet. Yeah, so the rest of the stuff is probably fine. I mean, if this was me, I'd probably lose the knight and do double Vindicator tank. If you still feel like you need fire support, you could get some of those Plasma Inceptors in there. You could get a Ballistus Dreadnought in there. I'm not really sure what Assault Intercessors on foot give you if you're not leading them, right? Like, the reason you take them is because you lead them with the captain and you can reroll all the wounds. So if you're not taking them, I'd probably try and change these out for regular Intercessors. Because regular Intercessors at least give you sticky objectives. They're a little bit better now that they get like four bolters per guy. And like I said, sticky objectives. I mean, overall, the sort of synergy of this is fine. I suppose you could drop the Castellan, take a Vindicator tank, take a second Impulsor, take a captain to lead the Assault Intercessors. Let me add that up. I should be able to do that in my head, but it's like 185 plus 80 for the captain plus 80 for the Impulsor. So, yeah, drop the Castellan, go 2 Vindicators, go 2 Impulsors, add another Captain for the Assault Intercessors, and based on the fact that you had 70 points here, you have 70 points left at that point. That's another whole unit of Scouts. That's how I would change this list. I would double up on the Scouts, I would double up on the Vindicator, I would lose the Knight because I think it's unreliable, I would double up on the Impulsor, and I would add yourself a regular Captain on foot, right? Who's going with those Assault Intercessors in that second Captain, in that second Impulsor, sorry, and I give him Power Fist. I think that would be better, but I mean, I'm just here to give my opinion. You are more than welcome to ignore it, Mr. Pete M. So yeah, let's move on. Next list. Good evening, Vintage Flanker. Good evening, Commander Dante. Good evening, Bearded Coyote. Pandaman Pete. It's been a while since we've seen you, Pandaman Pete. How are you? I'd move the Rage Fuel to the Captain too. That's very true. If you give the Rage Fuel to that Captain on foot, then when he goes Finest Hour and he has his 9 attacks on his charge with his reroll wounds, you could give him the Sustain 3. Sustain 3 on 9 attacks is like the biggest potential ceiling, right? I wonder if anyone's ever actually rolled 9 6s for the Finest Hour Captain. Because I had Finest Hour in my Chaplain, right? And I think I had 5 attacks. And I did roll 5 6s. Because I got 20 Power Fist attacks out of that one Chaplain with Rage. Is that right? Sustained 5 attacks, sustained 3. Yeah, that was 20. I wonder if anyone's ever rolled 9 6s for... I don't suppose anyone would have captured that happening in real time. I genuinely captured mine. It's on the channel. Because it was hilarious. I got 21 hits with my Captain versus Deathwing Terminator Squad and a Chaplain. Nice. So someone beat me. Someone got 21. I got 20. I got 5 6s with my Chaplain to give him 20 Power Fist attacks. It was pretty sick. All right, Jimmy. He's also playing Liberator Assault Group. He's got the Rage Fuel Captain on foot. He's got a Captain on the Jump Pack. It's crazy to me that the Captain on the Jump Pack is 5 points cheaper than the base Jump Captain. Like, it's just so silly. Like, this... For multiple editions, there's been attacks on taking Jump Packs. But in this edition, they have made it that the Jump Pack actually makes you 5 points cheaper. It's so stupid. Hello, Kevin, Sim. We've got your list up for tonight, Kevin, so stay tuned for that. Dante and a Death Company Captain with... So, Captains with Power Fist, very common Liberator Assault Group. We have 10 Assault Intercessors on foot, and then the Sticky Objective Intercessors. So I imagine the 10 Assault Intercessors on foot are going with the Captain on foot, but how are we transporting those? We have Impulsor. We have 2 units of Jump Intercessors, we have a Ball Predator, we have Blade Guard times 6, we have Death Company times 10, we have double Lancer, we have double Sanguinary Guard in 3, and we have a unit of Scouts. Yeah, I'm confused actually, because I don't think... Well, for sure, 10 Intercessors do not fit inside an Impulsor. So unless the Impulsor's taking the regular Intercessors around, yeah, 2 units of Jump Intercessors is good. A Ball Predator gives you some early pressure. You can set an objective. You can store some points. Oh, there's Blade Guard. Excuse me. So the Blade Guard are probably... Maybe it's the... I don't know. This Captain can't attach to Blade Guard. So I don't know if that's a mistake in the list, but just so you're aware, if you want your Captain to attach to Blade Guard, it's like a stupid edge case, but you... I think it's on the Captain's War Gear. Yeah, this model cannot be attached to a Blade Guard Veteran Squad unless it's equipped with a Relic Shield. So that Captain can't attach to Blade Guard because obviously it's a Blood Angels Captain, not the regular Captain, and he also doesn't have a Relic Shield, right? So like this Captain can't attach, which is a bit weird. So the Blade Guard are maybe unled. I mean, unled Blade Guard is fine. I guess you've got the Blood Angels Captain either with the Intercessors or the Assault. I think he's with the Assault Intercessors because he's got Rage Fueled. I don't really like running 11 Intercessors or 10 plus 1 across the board. I don't think it's a great play. We've got Dante, who's obviously with Sangre Guard. We've got a Jump Death Company captain, who's obviously with the Death Company. We've got another captain with Jump, who's with Sangre Guard. So, double Lancer for long-range fire support, 2 small squads of Sangre Guard, Scouts. Your big Death Ball is, I guess, your Death Company squad, and they've got sustained hits. You've got your Blade Guard probably in the Impulsor unled, 2 units of Jump Intercessors. So, I mean, overall, I wouldn't say it's the most optimal list for Blood Angels. It's not bad, right? Like, the character choices are maybe a little bit questionable. The reason I would question these character choices is probably, like, every unit you've got here is going to want Red Rampage, right? The Death Company with sustained attacks, they want Red Rampage. Both units of the Sangre Guard, they want Red Rampage. The Assault Intercessors on foot, they want Red Rampage. Arguably, you could even say the Assault Intercessors with Jump Packs want Red Rampage. So your whole army wants your Red Rampage strat, and you only put it in one place. And that's why sometimes, I think if you're playing Liberator Assault Group, maybe some Chaplains could help out. Or some other ways to punch up. And I guess that really comes down to, like, Chaplains, probably. Or... yeah, I mean, I think the 3-man squads of Sangre Guard worry me a little bit, right? Like, I think 3-man squads of Sangre Guard are good skirmishing units, but they don't kill anything big. So your thing to kill big things is Death Company, and if you're going to try and kill something with the Death Company, then they're going to need Red Rampage every time. And then it means those small squads of Sangre Guard are not going to do enough damage, probably. I guess you could argue the Lancers are here to do some of that damage. You've got a Battle Predator to maybe do some Overwatch damage. It's not the worst list. It's got sticky objectives in there as well. Personally, I don't really like running, like I said, 10 guys on foot. But it just feels a little bit confused, maybe, for me. But I haven't played many... like, if you swapped out the sustained hits captain for a Chaplain on the Death Company, I think that probably would make the sense for me in this list, because at that point it frees up your Red Rampage to be used anywhere else, and like the Blade Guard want it, like I said, everybody else wants it. And I mean, that's one reason that I think we see Chaplains with Blade Guard, right? Because a Chaplain gives Blade Guard +1 to wound, and then they're on strength 7 on the charge, and then you never need to give them your Red Rampage, right? Let me catch up on chat, right? The Impulsors for Blade Guard, well, we think maybe. What do you think is a limit to range firepower on the list? I think the limit to range firepower in Liberator Assault Group is probably 3 tanks. Or 3 Dreadnoughts, however you want to run them. I mean, I think I've tried to run 4. But the best performance I ever did with a tournament was when I had 3, and when I had 3, it was 2 Predator Annihilators and a Ballistus Dreadnought. A lot of people do 2 Vindicator tanks and like a Ballistus Dreadnought as well to keep it down. I think if you go over 3, you're really pushing it with Liberator Assault Group, right? My personal opinion. I'm sure someone's won a tournament with more. I think I've seen some people do like double Lancer or even double Vindicator and then double Ball Predator. Like, I think I actually played against that on stream a few weeks back, where it was like double Vindicator tank, double Ball Predator. So, yeah, and I think that was Liberator Assault Group, and I did beat it. So maybe 3 is optimal, but you could probably push to 4. Kevin says, I need to check his list as Terminators in it. Let me see. Does it have Terminators? Does it have Terminators? It does have Terminators, Kevin. Alright, cool, we got the right one. How do I like Scouts? I've been taking 2 units every match, but I feel like I get enough value out of them. I would love to have 2 units of Scouts in every list. I think Scouts are a great scoring unit, right? Like, they're possibly one of the best scoring units in the game. I suppose when they were 60 points, they were amazing. At 70 points, maybe they're a little bit costly. World's Worst went 4-1 this weekend running double Lancer. Well, there you go. Do you run any more tanks, dude? I think you should definitely have at least 1 unit of Scouts. If you can afford 2 in your list, then it's probably good, because you could use 1 for scoring, 1 for screening. But yeah, I mean, I think scouts are a hard unit to play, right? Because they do die exceedingly fast, and there is a temptation to quite deploy them forward on an objective. Sometimes I think maybe you just need to deploy your scouts defensively. Like, if they are alive in turn 5, they will have probably scored quite a few points over the game by, you know, coming off the board, coming back on the board, holding an objective, just being a nuisance. Whereas if you deploy them too offensively and they get picked up turn 1, then you get no value in them. And I'm guilty of that as well. I've lost my scouts hundreds of times in turn 1 by deploying them too offensively. They're just a hard unit to play, but I wouldn't give up your scouts. I would keep using scouts. I had a list with 95 Marines in it. It sounds ridiculous, but it's kind of fun. Yeah. I think Phil was running a list a few weeks back with like 120 Marines. I get that some people think that's fun. I don't know if I ever want to play 120 Marines. That seems like a lot. You deploy offensively to screen charges. Yeah, I mean, you can, but I guess, like I'm saying, the trick is to not lose your... Like, you need your scouts to survive. Because they'll do engage in all fronts, they'll do behind enemy lines, they'll do recover assets, they'll do teleport homers. Like, there's just so many things they can do. But if you deploy them in a bad position and you lose your scouts turn 1, that's the problem, right? Like, their guns do very little, their knives do very little. The most damage a scout squad is ever going to do is if they throw a grenade, honestly. But yeah, they're a tough unit to play in. Like, I keep making mistakes with them as well. Alright, we're going to move on to the third list for tonight. Mark Prince. Alright, so I've recently entered my list into a triples tournament. I'm a relatively new player, and I've never run that many jump pack intercessors, but their mortal bomb popped against Necrons last week, and I got a convincing win, so I thought I'd throw an extra score of 5. The Land Raider also does bits, and it's shooting for me. I haven't switched that out yet, but I'll buy another tank or 2 to give me options. Land Raider has 6 Blade Guard, and I'll fight first Judicature in it. So I recently ran a Land Raider to a tournament, and my opinion is that I don't really like the Land Raider because of its lack of invuln save. If I had an invuln save, like a 4-up, like the old Land Raider Achilles had, I think it would be great. But I don't really like it on just a 2-up save because, yeah, like we were just talking about, lots of people are taking like a knight. Well, if you get shot by the volcano cannon on that knight, isn't it like AP 6 or something stupid? Knight Castle and ranged weapons, AP 5. So even if you even if you have cover, you're only saving on a 6. D6 plus 8 damage. So, I mean, Land Raiders are pretty risky. Land Raiders are a bit like... Because I recently also played a Storm Raven at a tournament. And I feel like Land Raiders are kind of the same as a Storm Raven. Your opponent can either deal with them, or they can't deal with them. If they can deal with them, you probably have a problem, because they're probably going to wipe it out in like 1 turn from far away, and you're not going to get any value out of it. If they can't deal with them, you can be running it round the whole game and you win the game because there's this Land Raider in the middle of the board shooting multi-meltas and las cannons and whatever else a Land Raider has these days. My Chaos list was popping off AP5 las cannons yesterday. Well, that's my point, right? Like, if Land Raiders are a 4-up invuln, I think they would be just infinitely better. But because they don't... I mean, they probably will be okay with a 5-up invuln, but without it, it feels like a big risk to run it to a tournament. And I think the last time I was thinking of running one to... Well, I did run one to a tournament in the summer. But I felt like I didn't have a choice. And I probably wouldn't do it again. It's a fun unit. Like I said, some games it'll take over the game. Some games it won't. Yeah, I'd 100% rather, like... I'd rather probably run 2 impulsors with shield domes. Like, I just think that's better. Because it's less to lose when they inevitably blow up. And, like, very rarely do I feel like I get the value of the Land Raider advance and charge. Or sorry, move 10 inches then charge, right? Like, it very rarely comes up. Okay, what do you think about a guy who went 6-0 in first place with no anti-tank? I haven't seen the list. Someone went 6-0 with Blood Angels with no anti-tank in first place. Here's the thing, though, right? Like, you could win an event and never play against a tank list, right? Like, you know, so I think that's something that I need to realize, because like the last event, the event I was going to where I took the Land Raider, I was playing against Death Guard and I was losing every game, and I was playing against World Eaters and I was losing every game. The reason I was losing against Death Guard is because they're just bombing my Sangre Guard off the table with like mortal wounds from indirect fire. And the reason I was losing against World Eaters is because they're taking 3 of those Forge Fiends, and the Forge Fiends are just ridiculous, and they are blowing all my units off the table, right? So I took a Land Raider to counter that. And what actually happened in that tournament, I actually did end up playing against the World Eaters player, and the Land Raider was kind of clutch in that game, and I won that game by the skin of my teeth, may I add. But I probably screwed myself into other matchups by taking that Land Raider. So I think sometimes when you're building a list, yes, it might be, for example, like this, it might be a bad idea to take no anti-tank, but you might, if you focus too much on anti-tank, for example, you might make holes elsewhere in the list. And when you're going to a tournament, you never know who you're going to play against. So you might play against no tanks, right? Like, that's the thing. You know, like, you might just know, like, my list can't deal with guardsmen. Hordes of them, I just can't deal with that. But then maybe you never play against them. So sometimes I think you just have to create the list. Like, that's why I don't really tailor lists, right? Like, when I build lists to play on my channel, I'm never looking at what my opponent brings, ever. Right? Like, I'll know I'm playing Death Guard, but I'm not putting units in my list overly to counter Death Guard units, right? Like, or to counter any unit. I'm just putting my units in my list because I think they have synergy with the stuff that I have, right? So that's what I would advise when you're building an army list. Like, for example, right now the meta is all fucked up anyway, right? Like, Death Guard are way too strong. I actually saw like a tournament is doing its own balanced data slate now to stop Knights winning, and Death Guard just running away with everything, right? Like tournament organizers are actually making data slates now because Games Workshop apparently can't or something. I don't know, but yeah, I wouldn't focus too hard, right? Like I hurt myself in the last tournament by focusing on the things that I was really struggling against. And that's not how you should build lists. You should build lists that synergize with the units in the list. And if you run into one of those horrible matchups where you're probably not going to win, then you're probably not going to win it anyway, even if you try to build up against it, right? Alright, next list. This is by Mark Prince. Sorry. I had a massive tangent there about Land Raiders. Anyway. Captain with Jump Pack, Chief Mephiston, Commander Dante, Fight First Judasar with Gift of Foresight, and the Combi Weapon Lieutenant. I'm actually off the Combi Weapon Lieutenant, personally. Some people really like him. And I do like him, and I do like his reactive move. But he doesn't do very much damage, and he never seems to survive when he gets pinned down. So I'm not running him for the foreseeable future. And that's a personal opinion. I know he's a strong character. I've used him in a bunch of games. But there's too many games where he's just underperformed for me. So for me, personally, I have lost this guy out my list. We've got 20 Jump Intercessors. We've got 6 Blade Guard. We've got a Brutalis Dreadnought. I don't like the Brutalis Dreadnought. I think it's too hard to deliver. We've got a Lancer, we've got Infiltrators, we've got a Land Raider, we've got Outriders, we've got 2 small Sangre Guard, and we've got Scouts. So yeah, so inside the Land Raider, we've got the Blade Guard. We've got Lancer for fire support. I guess we've got Brutalis running across the middle of the board. We've got 20 Jump Intercessors. Fight First on the Blade Guard. Dante with Sheath Sangre Guard. A Captain with Sheath 3 Sangre Guard. Mephiston. And the Combi Weapon Lieutenant. So it's an interesting one, right? Like, 20 Jump Intercessors is a very good core. So is the 6 Blade Guard. I think Like, I would be willing, like, one of the biggest wins you probably get here is getting rid of the Land Raider and replacing it with, like, 2 Impulsors. Because you get 2 Impulsors, you can put 2 squads in, and then you also get, I guess, the potential to free up a bunch of points there. So you could have, like, another unit of Jump Intercessors, or another unit of Sticky Objective Intercessors, right? I don't know if I feel like I need 2 Lone Operatives when I'm playing Blood Angels. Like Mephiston and the Combi Weapon Lieutenant. Like, I feel 1 Lone Operative is good. If I've already got Scouts, cool. If I've already got Jump Intercessors, I can drop down. Cool. I mean, I feel like the Land Raider and maybe the Lieutenant could be worth swapping out. We could get some Intercessors. We could get a couple of Impulsors. I mean, we've got Infiltrators, which are definitely useful, but Intercessors can be very useful as well. I think that if you made that switch out Land Raider, you could probably afford the 3rd squad of Sangre Guard as well, right? Because, like, 2 Impulsors plus a squad of Sangre Guard. No, that's wrong. 2 Impulsors plus a squad of Sangre Guard. You know, they're only 30 points more there, so I suppose the thing in this list is if you drop the Land Raider, you need to add some more fire support. So that's where this list will become tricky, right? Because the Land Raider, as much as maybe I don't like it, is bringing 4 las cannons. It is bringing a couple of multi-meltas, which complement the Lancer, and the Lancer on its own is not going to be enough. Some people do double Lancer. Someone in chat just said they did 4 and 1 with double Lancer. I've played double Lancer. It's not my favourite, honestly. I much prefer double Vindicator. I think I would even prefer, like, 2 Predators and a Ballistus Dreadnought over double Lancer, just because I think that's more versatile. Gone Hollow Millie said he finally snagged the Honor of the Chapter box. Congrats, man. And they still don't sell the Judasaur. Like, they still don't sell that model. It's so silly. My eBay search history is like Blood Angels, Arsenal, and apparently StarCraft. Judasaur. Oh, he's expensive. Yeah, I can't believe they still don't sell them in an individual kit. To anyone that hasn't bought this model yet, it's just a guy with a big sword. I would you could convert him, right? I want the new Dawn of War box to drop in the new K. It's in that. What's the Dawn of War box, like the video game? The Gift of Foresight is a good enhancement on the Judasaur, right? Because it means he can guarantee devastating wounds every time he swings his blade. I guess the Chaplain with +1 to wound, probably. Yeah, so I prefer the Chaplain here over the Judasaur because I think the +1 to wound on the Blade Guard is more impactful than the Judasaur's weapon. But I guess the Judasaur's weapon will always kick out some devastating wounds, right? Like, how many attacks does the Judasaur get? Probably like 6? 5 or 6 hitting on 2s. 5 hitting on 2s. So realistically, you're probably rolling like 4 or 5 wound rolls. You roll 1 6, you flip another dice to 6, you guarantee almost 4 mortal wounds every time he fights. Excuse me. And you have precision. So if you come up into like another Space Marine player, you can just precision out their character straight away at the start of the fight phase. I mean, that's not bad. That's it's a pretty reliable, like, hey, if you charge me with a toughness 4 wound, hell, it doesn't even matter the toughness of the enemy. If you charge me with a 4 wound character, I'm just going to lift up the character. I'm just going to lift your character off the board before you even get to swing, right? Like, so I think there's a pretty high chance that you can do that with this precision. The new Dawn of War got like a physical box set. Are you guys trolling me? Because I'm all for physical. I fucking hate buying games on Steam where you don't get like where you don't get the box. Dawn of War Division PC. Oh, it's a board game. I thought you were talking about the... Oh, right, yeah, okay. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the PC game, because I hate buying PC digital games. Because, what's going to happen one day when, like, Steam shuts down? I mean, it's unlikely, but at some point it will, right? Like, I like having the discs, man. Discs! Look at this one. Look at this one. Space Crusade PC CD-ROM. Boom. System requirements. Let's see if the camera will focus on that. 386 or above. What else does it say there? 584 free kilobytes of memory. Your CD-ROM has to have a 2.1 speed. You need a Sound Blaster card or compatible. How about that? Burn me a copy of that. Do you know what I liked as well? You remember when video games actually had like manuals with like loads of pages of shit? Like this manual is... Yeah, like it's only in English. It's not even like they have a translated thing. It's 27 pages. And they even give you a page for notes. I don't know why you would need notes. But I miss big box PC games so much, man. I've got a few like real classics. I hate how you have to buy them digitally now. Like absolutely hate. At some point I'm gonna fire this up. I probably last put this in the disk drive probably in the 90s, honestly. But yeah, I've got a few classics. I've got Doom 1. Is it Doom 1? Ultimate Doom. Yeah, thy flesh consumed. You know when they used to have a bit of girth about them. God, I hate digital. My boss makes fun of me for how much space I waste holding on to those things, but oh well. Yeah, Doom 1 is the best. All right, so this list. Yeah, I feel like we have to swap out the Land Raider. It's super risky. If you're a new player, it's super risky to buy a Vindicator tank right now. I think it's probably risky to buy a Predator tank. So your options are another Lancer or Ballistus Dreadnought. I think Brutalis Dreadnought is difficult to play. I think you could probably use another few Sangre Guard in this list. Make one of those squads a 6. Make one of those squads a 3. You could probably use the Impulsor as well. So I think the Land Raider needs to be replaced for like another Lancer and an Impulsor. The Brutalis potentially needs to be replaced for another 6 Blade Guard or like 3 Sangre Guard, and then we cut the Lieutenant and gives you 120 points. You could put in a unit of Inceptors or something. Like, there's just... I wouldn't run a Land Raider to another event. I think I wouldn't run a Ballistus to another event. I've run both of them now. And I don't overly like either of them. Do you know, do you remember when the boxes had that front flippy bit? We're so off topic here. But like you bought the video game box, and in the store it had like a flip open, so it like showed you like some cool shit about the game inside the flip, man. Now you just get it on Steam. Bleh. I get the convenience of Steam, but I kind of hate it. Anyway, I don't buy very many video games, so when I buy a video game, I would rather have the box and hold on to it, you know? I think probably like 15 years ago, I realized that like the Steam sales are a trap. You just buy games you're never going to play. Okay. And Bad Francis, if you're looking for classic games, there's a website, right? I only know about it because I used to have an Atari. I think it's called Abandonia. So it's basically any old games that are like quote-unquote dead. So I bet you if you type in Space Crusade on here, you'd probably need to download like DOSBox, but there you go. You can download Space Crusade 1992. It's probably it's 1 megabyte in size. You need to get DOSBox to play it, but basically any old games that exist, like Hero Quest, that was a great game. I love the soundtrack to that game actually. Hero Quest. Any of these old games that exist, it's 500. It's like half a megabyte. But yeah, I use Unbandonia because I used to have an Atari ST. That was my first computer, and I had a lot of Atari ST games, and occasionally I have an inkling to go and play them again. Physical games have maps. Yeah, physical games are good. Anyway, let's get back to who has a disk drive anymore. I have a disk drive. Like, not like a Blu-ray drive that reads DVDs, but not like a floppy disk. Yeah, nobody's got a floppy disk drive anymore. Maybe somebody does. Yeah, maybe you can buy an external floppy disk drive. The only reason I actually have a disk drive is because I like to burn videos onto disk as a backup. If I didn't back up my videos onto a disk, then I wouldn't probably have a disk drive. Okay. Benjamin Stewart. He's loving the channel, extremely helpful. Thank you, Benjamin. Here's my current list. I just got tabled by Grey Knights. Okay. So Grey Knights, the problem with Grey Knights is they all save on 2s. So AP1 is pretty bad against Grey Knights because they can use true silver armor and then they just save on 2s all the time. So I imagine Jump Intercessors are probably not that good against Grey Knights. Sangreguard are probably pretty great against them because of the AP3. Death Company probably not going to be too great against them. Anything that has AP1 or AP0 is going to be bad against Grey Knights. I do remember 5.5-inch floppies, but no, I don't have a 5.5-inch floppy, I'm afraid. So Living Ghost still has a floppy drive. What fucking computer have you got that you've still got a floppy drive? And get out of here. You do not. You're lying. I cannot. I actually am wanting to remember the last time I had a file on a floppy disk now. It must have been, like, I was at university in like 2001, 2002. It must have been that then, because I remember in 2001 or 2002, my first ever USB stick, you know, like USB sticks that you get all the time, the first ever one that I had was 16 megabytes. And it cost like £55, and it was an absolute piece of shit. It was like the worst USB stick ever. It was slow, it corrupted files all the time, and it was 16 megabytes. So that was like my jump away from floppy drives. Okay, so a Jump Captain with Gift of Foresight, a Chaplain with a Power Fist and Rage, Dante, a Judasaur with Icon of the Angel. I hate this enhancement. I think it's absolutely garbage. I wouldn't use it at all, just FYI. Yeah, so infantry, beast, anything that's excluding monsters and vehicles cannot fall back from you. I mean, I think if you're not killing monsters or vehicles with the Judasaur plus probably 6 Blade Guard, then you have a problem beyond what Icon of the Angel can sort. Attack Marine, Intercessors, Impulsor, 15 Jump Intercessors, Ballistus, 12 Blade Guard, Lancer, Infiltrators, 6 Sangry Guard, Vindicator Tank. Alright. So the Jump Back Chaplain is with 10 Assault Intercessors. But yeah, they're going to be very weak into Grey Knights because he's going to just pay 1 CP in True Silver Armor, so he's going to save on 2s against them. So that's integrate, like, that's a Chaplain with Ragefield Warrior and a Power Fist and 10 Jump Intercessors is a legitimately good unit. It's just not legitimately good into a unit that has a 2-up save and it can ignore 1 AP, right? Like, statistically, you should kill a Bloodthirster of Khorne if you make the charge with 10 Jump Intercessors, with a Chaplain in Liberated Assault Group, right? Like, that has enough damage to kill a Bloodthirster. Grey Knights are going to be an exception to the rule. I guess Custodes could be the exception to the rule as well, right? You got Tech Marine because you got 3 vehicles, a Vindicator, a Lancer, and a Ballista. So I think that's a good spread of vehicles. It covers everything. You've got the Infiltrators. You've got the 12 Blade Guard. I mean, 12 Blade Guard is very good. It wins tournaments. I imagine 6 of them are in the Impulsor with the Judisaur. 6 of them are lead. That's totally fine. You've got Dante with Sanguinary Guard. You've got a Captain with the Thunderhammer, so he can do dev wounds. So that's good as well with more Sanguinary Guard. You've got another 5 Jump Intercessors. You've got 5 Sticky Objectives. You've got Infiltrators. You've got... I guess you've got no Scouts. That's maybe the weak point. Like, maybe you should be halving one of these Blade Guard squads to 3 and getting in some Scouts. You probably also want to get rid of Icon of the Angel. How many points is Icon of the Angel? I mean, I guess you just put it in to fill up some points, but it's honestly really bad. 20 points. It's not worth 5 points. I guess if you got rid of Icon of the Angel, you could give, let's say, the Judisaur could take the Gift of Foresight, and the Jump Captain could become a Fight First Jump Captain with Sanguinary Guard. That would be better. But the rest of the list is fine, right? Like, I think the problem is, like, I've fought Grey Knights a couple of times, and they are difficult to kill. Especially, I mean, True Silver Armor is even good against Blade Guard, right? They just make them AP1 or whatnot. Sanguinary Guard are probably your best bet against the Grey Knights because you've got AP3 and they can't really do anything but deal with AP3. But you've arguably only got 3 Sanguinary Guard or 6 Sanguinary Guard in here. Like, one of the things that I like 9 Sanguinary Guard in both detachments, right? Like, some people like to go harder on the Blade Guard, some people like to go hard on the Jump Intercessors. Personally, I like to have 9 Sanguinary Guard. I've played variants in both detachments. I've played three squads of 3 in both detachments. I'm pretty sold on a 3 and a 6 in both detachments now. That's what I like to play. That's what I think is good. So I would probably be trying to do something like that. I'd probably be trying to get some Scouts into this list because I think you need the Scouts. So I think the way that you would have to do this, you'd have to lose the Blade Guard veterans. You'd have to lose that Icon of the Angel, which honestly does nothing for you. That would save 180 points. I would use that 180 points to change one of these Sanguinary Guard squads into a 6. And then, thank you so much for subscribing, Roderick. And then I would use the remaining points to add another unit that can score points. Because I think that would help get you some more scoring points on the board. It will give you, like, 6 Sanguinary Guard are going to do a lot more damage into a squad of Terminators or into a Dread Knight. And especially you could even potentially make one of those a Fight First by rejigging these enhancements. So this list isn't bad at all. Like, it really isn't bad at all. Grey Knights is just a difficult proposition because when they start playing True Silver Armor, and a good Grey Knight player will know when to use that, then they just save against a lot of our stuff on 2s. Like, Blood Angels are pretty weak this edition in terms of our raw AP and our flat 2 damage. And I mean, there's not too much else you can say about that. That's just our weaknesses this edition, right? Kevin said, my dad had an Apple Lisa back in 1983 and it had a massive hard drive of 10 megabytes. Oh, dude, it's funny you say that because some of those old games, like the amount of cost you had to spend back in the day. Like, I remember buying RAM when RAM was like £1.50 a megabyte. So like 128 megabytes of RAM cost over £200. I couldn't even tell you how much RAM's in this computer these days, but like I probably got 32 gig in here. Do I? Yeah, 32 gig. So at the price it was in like the price it was back in like the 90s when I bought RAM, that would have been like £40,000 in RAM. £48,000 for the RAM in this computer. Yeah. Fucking A. What should I buy first as a 40k noob? The Blood Angels Combat Patrol. Hello Phil, good evening. Are we trying a bike captain with Outriders yet? Just got one from the Combat Patrol magazine. I'm curious to see him on the table. So I've played him, the bike captain with Outriders. you give him the enhancement. I think that gives him +2 strength and +2 AP on the charge. In this, well, I guess if you're using the Blood Angels attachment, you can't get that. But if you're playing him in Stormlands, that's the play in Stormlands. So it gives him strength 9, gives him AP 3, gives him flat 3 damage on the charge. I think the issue with him, at least in my opinion, he doesn't have enough attacks. He's got like, I wouldn't say he's got 4 attacks. Maybe he's got 5. He's got 5. Okay, so yeah, in Stormlands you can give him +2 strength, and he gets +1 from being attached to Outriders. So he goes strength 9, he gets +2 AP, he gets +1 damage from the Outriders. So he's 9, 3, 3, but he only has 5 attacks. And I think it sounds pretty good, but then when you end up missing 1 and failing to wound on 1, all of a sudden it's only 3 attacks. If the enemy's got a 4-up invan, they save 1 or 2, and then it's just 3 damage, right? Like, it looks like it could be good, but I'm not sold on it, I'm afraid. I ran it in Stormlands, I think. I maybe even ran it in Blood Angels or Angelic Inheritors. I think I ran it in Angelic Inheritors, because I thought that you can reroll the ones to hit, you can reroll the ones to wound, that'll help. But I still didn't think it was as meaningful as it could be. So what you want to do, do you know what, like, you've got a weird name, Annex II3TY2 or something. Go onto my channel, youtube.com/c/Blood Angels Commander, click videos, and then you can search. But I can probably just find one. Like, I did a video recently, I'll link it in the chat for you actually. I did a video recently that was like, the best 1,000-point Blood Angels army to start with. There you go. Starting the best 1,000-point started Blood Angels army. God damn it, I've typoed in my own video name. I'll fix that after the stream. I'll put that on the screen so I don't forget. There you go. That's a video you need to watch. So it's 1,000 points, how to get started. But generally I make videos every week about Blood Angels. So if you're starting Blood Angels, just go over to the channel page and search for what you're looking for. There's a very, very, very high chance I have made it. Like I said, I make a video every week. What do you think about bringing Canis as fire support rather than 2 Vindicators? It's only 10-point difference. Canis has a lot of capabilities that tanks don't. Yeah, Canis does have a lot of capabilities, and he is strong right now. I mean, if you're going to ally a knight, I would probably ally Canis or a Castellan. The cool thing about Canis Rex is he gets to reroll. He gets a command reroll basically every turn, or he gets to use one CP reroll every turn. So his main gun is like D6 shots, and his main gun's pretty cool, right? It's like, I think it's AP4 flat 4. I forget what strength it is, but I'm pretty sure it's AP4 flat 4. Sorry, AP3 flat 4. And it's sustained hits, and he hits on 2s, and because it's Canis, his ability means on 5s he scores critical hits. So what's pretty cool is you roll the number of shots for this gun, right? If you roll 4, 5, or 6, you're probably like, cool, that's totally fine. What I'll do is I'll use my once per turn, 1 unit for your army with this ability, can reduce its stratagem cost. So I'll use this ability to reroll one of my hits that's not a 5 to try and get sustained. But if you roll like 1, 2, or 3, you reroll the number of shots, hoping for that 4, 5, or 6. So like, he's got quite a lot of damage in melee, I feel like. In shooting. And then he's got very good damage in melee as well. Again, sustained hits. 20 minus 3, flat 9. Flat 9, like, fucking stupid, isn't it? But yeah, Canis is good, right? Like, really good. What points is he at the moment? Yeah, like 380? Yeah, I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with allying him in. Toughness 11, 26 wounds, 380, 5-up invan save. I think it's only against range attacks, but I mean, who wants to be in melee with him anyway, with his flat 9 damage? Or 10 sweeps. Remember, he's sustaining on 5s and 6s all the time as well. So yeah, I think if you want to run Canis with the Blood Angels army, by all means, go for it. I think it's good. Hello.
Hello.
What are you up to?
Work.
Oh, you're working? Okay. Tell me if I'm disturbing you. But I can't really be quiet if I am.
You won't disturb me,
okay.
So please don't worry.
Alright, Kevin's list is next. Hello, John. My first in a while. I thought this is the second edition of the post. Sorry. Okay, I wanted to have at least a different spin on Inheritors. That's obviously is the scouting unit of Terminators to try and play around the middle objective. I mean, you could always use your teleport homer with Terminators in the middle objective as well. I went with the Ancient with them so that they have a decent amount of OC. The full boss librarian goes with Incursors and Mephiston with the Tech Marine, and it gives the list 3 different things with 12-inch loan op. One easy potential change would be drop the second Sangre Guard unit to 3 and add in a Ball Predator, but I didn't want the force to have double hammer and the dual mans that the dual 6-man gives. Okay, I did want the force to have double hammer. Okay, so expecting like 12 Sangre Guard here, I guess, right? So we've got Mephiston, an Ancient and Terminator armor with the Scout move. The Ancient of Terminator armor has the banner that gives +1 OC. It's been a while since anyone used an Ancient and Terminator armor, so it's it's a banner that gives OC1. Okay, and then when you're under starting strength, you add 1 to hit roll. When you're low half, you add 1 to the wound roll. I mean, that's good. The +1 to hit and wound. You've got a captain with no Overwatch against him. You've got another captain. You've got a librarian and full boss, and you've got the Tech Marine. So you got intercessors for sticky. You got the 6 Inceptors. You've got the Incursors with the full boss librarian. So that gives us +1 to hit. We've got 2 6-man Sangre Guard. Probably starting 1 on the board, 1 in reserve. Probably starting the 1 in the reserve with the no Overwatch, potentially. One captain has a Thunderhammer, 1 has a Power Fist. I mean, that's totally fine. You've got the Scouts. You've got the Terminators to come up to the middle. And then you've got double Vindicator tank. Okay. Yeah, it feels probably a little bit light on, like, unique units, right? Like, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... 9, and then the Tech Marine and Mephiston. So yeah, it's like 11. It's like 11 drops, right? Like we often use the word drops now. Hey Quay, thank you so much for being a member for 6 months. I do really appreciate it. So in it, if we talk about like just what's good in Angelic Inheritors, then Mephiston is good. Getting +1 to hit is good. From those Incursors. Sticky Objectives is good. 2 units of Sangre Guard buffed by captains to be strength 7 on the charge is good. Scouts are obviously useful. Terminators, I haven't played a lot of Terminators. We've got the Cyclone Missile Launcher in there. We've got a bunch of Power Fists. We got the Terminator Ancient to give us some OC, so we're trying to use that to get some durability in the middle. I don't know if I feel like that is good, but it's 3 wounds per model. It's a 4 up infant. It's toughness 5. It's not the worst. And then we've got 2 Vindicator tanks. So my thoughts would be like, we're trying to add a bit of durability to our Angelic Inheritors through the Terminators. Is that a better option than using Impulsors? That's the question, I guess. I mean, the Terminators probably hit harder. We have the 12 Sangre Guard. We have the Inceptors, 12 Plasma Inceptor shots per turn, which is good. We can lift those guys back up. We got Sticky Objectives. I think it's decent. I feel like an Ancient with Terminator armor to give the Terminators 2 OC in the middle is a cool idea. Is it strong, though, right? Like, if it was strong, other people would be using it, right? Nobody's using it, it feels like. So, but I mean, Blood Angels do struggle with the center objective. Like, we don't have that much stuff we can put on it that can just hold it. An Impulsor springs to mind. Some people use Ball Predators. I think the thing that maybe gets me is, like, look at this, like the Space Wolf Terminators. They have -1 to wound if you shoot them with strength higher than their toughness. So do the Deathwing Terminators. Like, if we had that rule, I think I would love this play. But without it, I don't know if I really like it. I guess the idea of the chaplain leading the Terminators so that they have a 4-up feel no pain is pretty cool. I kind of like the idea of giving them the extra OC. Like, it's not the worst idea. Like, Terminators only having 1 OC is pretty rubbish. Especially, I think Grey Knight Terminators have 2 and can go to 3 with a banner bearer, right? So, Blood Angels Terminators are just not that great this edition. I think you've got a lot of good Angelic Inheritor stuff in the list. I think there's probably some good synergy in there. I guess the Terminators are the big question mark, right? Like, no one is playing them for Blood Angels. And I mean, I haven't even played them with the Ancient period this edition. I think one of the biggest problems Terminators have is, like, if they're Stormbolters were 1 AP, maybe, but 0 AP feels really bad. And then the Power Fist, they're only getting 3 attacks per model, so it's only 15 attacks, hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s. So realistically, you get like 12 hits. I mean, it's not hugely bad, the Terminators. But yeah, I think if the Stormbolters had just had some AP, man, like, there were simple things Games Workshop could probably have done to fix Terminators or make them like a real competitive choice, but they've just, you know, and it's weird, in the last Balance Data Slate, they fixed a bunch of the crap Space Marine weapons, right? Remember they gave all the knives 1 AP, they gave a bunch of, like, bolters 1 AP, I feel like. They made bolt rifles better, but for some reason Stormbolters just get shafted. And I mean, I'd rather Stormbolters, like, lost the rapid fire and just got 1 AP. It's just 0 AP, totally sucks. But yeah, I think overall the list is decent. I just don't know how you... I mean, I'm playing something not a million miles away from this, right? Like, I'm playing Double Vindicator, I'm playing Scouts, I'm playing 9 Sanguinary Guard, I'm playing 6 Plasma Inceptors, I'm playing Intercessors. The difference is I've gone for Double Impulsor, right? So you've gone for Terminators, I've gone for Double Impulsor. Both probably have weaknesses. I mean, the Impulsor doesn't kill much, it's low OC. Maybe survives a bit better because it's 11 wound, toughness 9, and it's diversifying, and I can park an Impulsor on 2 different objectives, whereas you have to sort of stamp the Terminators onto the middle of the objective. You don't have any fight first on those Terminators as well, so they could get charged and wiped fairly easily. It's not that hard for an opponent to kill Terminators with, like, no -1 to wound and stuff like that. So yeah, no, I understand the logic about wanting to use the Terminators and wanting them to be more OC. I mean, a better play might be just put your Teleport Homer near the middle objective, the enemy come to the middle, you instantly come down from rapid ingress, and then you move and you charge. And that might be the play, that might be better than like a 6-inch pre-game scout move. But yeah, it's a hard one, Kevin. I mean, I think you're on the right track. But you just gotta, I think you gotta play those Terminators a few times and see how you get on with them, because I'm at the stage where I need to play my Impulsors a few times and see how I get on with them. The thing I like about the Impulsors is, inevitably, when the enemy do shoot you, let's say they have the power in the shooting to blow up the Impulsor, I will at least spill all my guys out onto the objective and probably hold that objective at the start of my turn. Whereas if your Terminators get absolutely destroyed by firepower, they may end up feeling battle shock, and then they're not holding it, right? So it's a tough one. I guess the argument is in Angelic Inheritors you could pay 1 CP and make the Terminators lone op within 18 inches. So yeah, I think it's worth a try. I just don't know. I just can't advise you on it. But I think it's worth a try, right? All right, let's move on. JLR7437. Thank you so much for the submitting list, Kevin. Though, please do come back to me and let me know in the future. We'll get it. We'll get a revised version of it on the channel. Yeah, maybe we should just get rid of the Terminators and try and get Canis Rex in there and just remove the Terminators, remove 1 Vindicator tank, and Canis Rex stands in the middle. I feel like Canis Rex is more durable than 5 Terminators, like a lot more durable. And he's probably got considerably decent OC, right? I actually don't know the OC of Canis Rex. It's probably like 8 or something, right? It is 10. So it's similar. It's similar to your Terminators. Toughness 11 and 26 wounds, though, which is pretty nice, considering how hard he hits in both shooting and combat, right? Yeah, I bet you if you did the math of like 5 Terminators fighting Canis Rex versus Canis Rex fighting 5 Terminators, that would be pretty horrific. All right, JLR7437. So it might just be me being bad. It might be the list, but I'm struggling massively against my buddy playing Tau. He plays 3 Riptides, 2 Breacher Fish. I don't think they're called Breacher Fish, but I think he means... Oh, right, I think he means like Breacher teams inside Devilfishes. And 3 tanks, and he still has somehow like 16 drops. I need help. So here's the thing about Tau is they shoot you like crazy. They ignore your cover. They give themselves +1 to hit. They spot all over the place. Blood Angels can beat Tau, but you have to beat them from... You have to stage really, really well. Like anything that they can see, they will realistically kill. And I guess when you make the charges, you have to be killing units. You can't be leaving units with like small numbers of health remaining. The Breachers inside the Devilfish are pretty nasty because they can trundle onto the objective. They can spill the guys out. The guys get a ridiculous amount of shots now. They have high AP. They're very good at killing Marines. The Riptide battlesuits. I think their ranged weapons are all of... I think it's... Yeah, they can take the Ion, which is bonkers, 72 inches, 8 minus 3, 4. I mean, like, you know, in the last list we were talking about Terminators. Like, my god, these things would rip through your Terminators, wouldn't they? If he's got 3 of them, 18, they're probably getting +1 to hit. They're probably able to ignore cover. Flat 4 damage. It's brutal. Yeah, they're not pushover either with 14 wounds and a 2-up save. What do these things cost points-wise again? I don't think they're that expensive. Like 200? 190? Yeah, I know Riptide battlesuits are very good. 10-inch move. I think they maybe even have a fly keyword. Maybe I'm full of rubbish. No, they do. They fly as well. Yeah. Okay, just because, you know, like Death Guard, they need all the keywords. I didn't even know they could do this. Once per battle, they can declare devastating wounds on a weapon. Okay. Alright, so Chaplain, Dante, Combi Weapon Lieutenant, and Tech Marine. If you're expecting to outshoot them, you're going to have big problems. We've got an Impulsor, we've got 2 units of Jump Intercessors, we've got Ballistus Dreadnought, we've got the 6 Blade Guard, we've got the Brutalis Dreadnought. I don't know how you would play a Brutalis Dreadnought against Tau. The only way you can play that is you put it in reserve and you rapid ingress it in a concealed position, because if you try and run that across the board, it's so fucking dead, it's not even funny. Like, it doesn't even get within 30 inches, they've already blown it up, right? You got 2 Lancers. I mean, Lancers are probably good. Fire if you can get them trained on those Riptides, that's probably the perfect target for them. The problem is you probably need 2 Lancers to take out 1 Riptide, and then one of the Riptides fires back and takes out one of the Lancers. So that's tough. You've got Plasma Inceptors, 2 small squads. Yeah, we don't see too many people play Plasma Inceptors in Liberator Assault Group, and I think the reason you don't see it is because there's not really a great way for them to fall back and shoot. And I was going to say, is there another reason? Yeah, I mean, you just can't put them back in reserve like you can in Angelic Inheritors, right? Infiltrators, 6 Sangre Guard, a unit of Scouts. Okay. Mark says, hi John, I got put up against a filthy Imperial Knight player yesterday and lost, but the Land Raider and the Blade Guard and the Judiciar took Canis down to 6 wounds in turn 3, and the look on my opponent's face told me that was good. Yeah, I mean, Canis is very strong. Like, Knights are just a very strong army at the moment. Hadley's played against the Taunar the other day and capped it with Lancers. I killed the Taunar with 6 Angry Guard and Dante, actually. So this list is... I think the reason that you're probably losing to Tau with this list is... This is not like a typical Liberator Assault Group list, right? Like, you've got 400, 560... You got 560 points of shooting there, and then you've got another 160 points in a Dreadnought, plus a Tech Marine. So you're like basically 800 points of stuff that Tau are just going to be able to blow up. I mean, Impulsors are very useful against Tau. You have 1. 6 Angry Guard are also very useful against Tau. You have 1. But I feel like to make this list work against Tau, you probably need 3 or 6 more Sangry Guard, and you probably need to lose some of the shooting and replace it with more melee threat. Because you almost need to be rapid ingressing something in turn 2 and turn 3, and both of those units need to make their points back and more, right? So it's like Tau will typically screen their half of the board, right? So there's nowhere you can come in on. Because they'll have, like, stealth suits or Kroot that will be up front. Was there a Ballistus Dreadnought there as well? Oh my goodness, sorry, I didn't even add in the Ballistus Dreadnought. So you're basically 1,000 points. Yeah, by the time you add the Tech Marine, you're at, like, 950 points. Like, Liberator Assault Group lists, you should be, like, 400, 500, maybe 550 points of shooting, and the rest should be melee. When I make a Liberator Assault Group list, I typically, like, I've done a whole slide on this. JL, I was going to say, I've done a whole video on this. I think it called it Liberator Assault Group 101. Yeah, so this is the video you're going to want to watch. This one, Army List Guide, Liberator Assault Group 101, it's like 4 months old. It's probably still 100% relevant. And in this video, I've got slides that tell you, like, this is your goal for list building. I must have had to come back to this. That's why the video opened at this point. So we need 4 melee units, right? Like, and they should be a serious threat. In this list, you've got 2. You've got the Blade Guard and the Sangry Guard, right? So you're like 2 melee short. You also probably like 3 too many shooting units. Your 20% on characters are probably okay. Your 4 and 5 units on scoring. I mean, you've got scouts, you've got an impulsor that can do scoring, you've got jump intercessors, you can do score on lieutenant. Yeah, I mean, you're there. 13 distinct units, probably okay. You've got infiltrators. Yeah, so you've got the backfield home as well, but you don't really have a strategic reserve plan that's going to be strong enough to deal with Tau. And then durability. I mean, Tau are hard to deal with in durability, but yeah, 100%. You need to go watch Liberator Assault Group 101 or Blood Angels 101 Army. I put that in chat in the off chance that JLR747 is watching on the replay. So Roland took Liberators to RTT yesterday, really like 18 Blade Guard. So yeah, 18 Blade Guard and like 25 Jump Intercessors have been winning a lot of tournaments. That's like a thing that has been doing very well in Liberator Assault Group. I just don't own 18 Blade Guard, and I don't know if I really want to rush out and buy 18. I don't really like just spamming 1 or 2 units. But no, I get that. Quay says, I think about that guide every time I make a lag list. Ah, thanks, dude. I appreciate that. Yeah, Vespids will just screen you out. Yeah, Vespids, Stealth Suits, Carnivores, sorry, not Carnivores, Kroot, they're all going to screen you out. So, but I think generally against Tau, you need to stage, you need to be obscured, and then you need to make charges. And you just don't have enough in your list here to make charges that are going to be impactful enough. And here's the thing, against Tau, possibly you even need to be multi-charging. Because if you just charge 1 unit in 1 turn, they can just take like all their units and just turn and focus and kill your one unit. You need to be charging 2 or 3 units at once, because most of the Tau stuff isn't going to be able to fall back and shoot you, right? Some of it might be able to shoot in combat, but I don't know if they have that much that's like fall back and shoot. So you need to be charging into multiple units, keeping units in combat, wrapping units if you can, and doing a lot of damage that way. Tau aren't an easy army to play against, but it is doable. But I don't think you can do it with the list that you shared there. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's the end of this week's show. If you want your list in a future episode, then please do put it in the comments. If you did enjoy the show tonight, please do like, subscribe, all that good YouTube algorithm stuff. I do really appreciate anyone that does that. Thank you so much. I'm going to try and have a battle report on Wednesday night. I haven't planned, or say I haven't planned that. I haven't asked for an opponent yet, but I'm going to ask. So I'll try and get a battle report on Wednesday night as normal. And yeah, thank you so much for being here. Let me answer a couple of more questions from chat, and then I'm going to take off. What do you think about using a repulsor or executioner to transport blade guard around in lag? It's fine. Repulsor executioners are what, 220 points? I mean, I don't actually own an executioner, but its main cannon, if I'm not mistaken, is the most damaging cannon Space Marines have. It's the only cannon that's like AP 5 and D6 plus 4. It can't be AP 5. Maybe it's AP 4. It can't be AP 5, is it? I just don't run Executioner myself, but I don't think it's the worst option. No. Strength 16, AP 4, D6 plus 4. Yeah, in general, it's fine. But would it, like, vehicles without an invulnerable save that cost 200 plus points can be kind of difficult to deal with, right? Because certain armies can just hit you with giant AP and all of a sudden you don't even get to roll a save for your 220 point tank. That's why I always seem to end up leaning back into Vindicator tanks, because they're kind of cheap. They're a good break point in terms of toughness 11 and 2 up save, or Impulsors, because they've got that 5 up invuln save, right? If you've got an Executioner, it's not the worst thing in the world to run. I mean, I guess the question is, what's better, right? A Lancer plus an Impulsor, because that's only 20 points more. And the difference is you can keep your Lancer quite far back, and you could shoot it every turn. You can try and keep it in cover. You could use angles. You can even maybe keep it still, because the Lancer is heavy, so if you don't move, you're hitting on 2s. And the Lancer, you reroll a hit, a wound, and a damage every turn, which is really powerful. And then the Impulsor, you can drive forward onto an objective. The enemy can't shoot both, right? Like, they have to shoot the Impulsor. They probably want to shoot the Impulsor because on the objective scoring you points. So, for 20 points more, would I take an Impulsor and a Lancer over a Repulsor Executioner? Yeah, probably. I mean, that's probably why I own 3 Impulsors, and I own 2 Lancers, and I own 0 Executioners, right? Someone, Calgar just said it's basically a Lancer and Impulsor stapled together. There you go. Yeah, so basically, it's the same. I would probably rather the 2 options, because then my Impulsor, if it's ignored, it can do some sort of action or something and can sit on an objective, right? Or in a desperate time, it can do a tank shock. Jason, nice to see you. Thanks so much for that. Okay, I will see you guys hopefully Wednesday night. I should have a couple of videos coming out this week, so thanks so much for watching. Leave a like, and I'll see you next week. Good night.